Are you ready for a new adventure? Time to travel back in time, let's go! Are you ready for a new adventure? Let's learn about the past with Anna and Leo.
Hi friends! Welcome to Unlock This, a podcast from Honest History, where we join our friends Anna, Leo, and Percy on adventures through time and uncover some really cool stories along the way. My name is William. I'm 6 years old, and I love learning about history, especially new stories that I don't hear about in school. I can't wait for today's story, and I think you're gonna love it too. So let's dive in.
Hey, Leo, what's that?
It's a soccer ball. Here, watch this. I'll drop the ball on the ground and then kick it with the top of my foot. And look, I bounced the ball off my knee.
That's cool. Can I try? Oops, I just kicked the ball into that bush.
You should have seen me yesterday. One time I kicked the ball and it went right onto my neighbor's roof. He wasn't very happy.
I guess we both need to practice more. But it's really fun. What made you want to play soccer?
My grandpa was watching a game on TV and started to explain it to me. He told me in the United States we call it soccer, but in other parts of the world it's called football.
I didn't know that. But I guess football is a good name for it since you use your feet quite a lot.
Yeah, it was fun learning about the sport from my grandpa. Do you think the museum has anything about soccer?
It might. But I'm just thinking you should probably leave the ball out here. I don't think the museum will let us take it inside.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can you imagine if I accidentally dropped and broke something? I'll just set it here, behind this wall so no one can find it.
Good idea, Leo. Shall we go inside and find Percy?
Yeah, let's go.
Percy, are you there? Oh, hello. We were hoping you would let us inside the museum vault.
Thanks, Percy. All right, let's get inside and explore.
Leo, do you know where you want to go today?
Well, my grandpa was telling me about this amazing soccer player, and I was thinking it might be fun to learn more about him.
That's a great idea. What's his name?
Well, his full name was Edson Arantes do Nascimento, but everyone knew him as Pelé.
You know who Pelé is, Percy? Percy, I had no idea you loved soccer so much. I guess Percy's a big fan, too.
Pelé is one of the greatest soccer players of all time. He's loved by so many people around the world.
And mice, apparently.
Do you think there's anything in the vault about Pelé?
Percy says he has something to show us from his own private collection. He's gonna go get it.
What do you have in there, Percy?
It looks like a piece of paper, all rolled up.
Whoa, may I take a look?
Go ahead, Leo. What is it?
It looks like an old newspaper. There's a date at the top. It says 1959, but I'm not sure what the rest of it says. What language do you think this is?
Percy says it's Portuguese. That's the language they speak in Brazil.
Of course, that makes sense because Pelé was from Brazil.
And I remember learning about Brazil at school. Did you know it's the largest country in South America? In fact, it's the 5th largest country in the world.
Wow, I had no idea Brazil was so big.
Whoa, Leo, did you feel that? I think we might start traveling soon.
You're right, Anna. Here we go!
Leo, where are we?
I think we're at a soccer game. Look, there's a field in front of us.
It looks like we're surrounded by a crowd of people. Are they here to watch the game?
I think so. I wonder what game this is.
Hey, look! The players just got on the field. I think the game's about to start.
Hey, Anna, you see that sign in the distance? It looks like a scoreboard, but I can't really read it.
Percy can help. He said the board has the names of the two teams that are playing. The teams are called Santos and Juventus. Do you know anything about them, Leo?
I do. Santos and Juventus are two different soccer teams in Brazil. We must be watching them play against each other.
You said Pelé was Brazilian. Did he play for one of these teams?
He did. Pelé played for Santos. In fact, that's him there, running up the field. I wish my grandpa was here to watch this.
Oh, wow! That's Pelé! He looks younger than the other players.
Yeah, he was very young when he started out. He joined Santos when he was just a teenager.
How did he become such a good player?
Pelé spent his childhood playing soccer. His father was a soccer player, so he learned a lot from him.
So Pelé followed in his dad's footsteps.
Yes, but life wasn't easy for Pelé growing up.
Why was that?
Although Pelé's dad was a soccer player, he wasn't paid very well. He struggled to make enough money to support his family. So Pelé grew up very poor. He couldn't even afford a soccer ball, but he still found ways to practice. In fact, he made his own ball by stuffing an old sock with rags. He would kick the sock up and down the streets of his hometown with his friends.
I remember you said Pelé was a nickname. How did he get that?
Yes, his real name was Edison. He was actually named after the famous inventor Thomas Edison, but his friends started calling him Pelé when he was a kid. To be honest, none of his friends really remembered why they gave him that nickname, but the name stuck, and now Pelé is known all around the world.
Hi friends, are you enjoying today's episode? I'd like to take a quick break from the story to tell you about another great place to learn about the past. Honest History creates magazines and books for kids that are filled with fun stories and activities that bring history to life. From pirates to spies to great inventions and so much more, you'll learn about interesting people, places, and events from around the world that made history. Created for kids ages 6 through 12, you can sign up and receive new adventures delivered straight to your doorstep every quarter. Just visit honesthistory.co. That's honesthistory.co to sign up today. Oh, and here's a special offer for our podcast listeners. Use code UNLOCKTHIS for 10% off. Again, that special code is UNLOCKTHIS. Okay, let's get back to the story.
Did someone just score a goal?
Yes, look, they changed the scoreboard. Santos is up a point.
So how did Pelé go from playing with his friends to playing for Santos?
When he was a bit older, he joined a local youth team. It didn't take long for him to make a good impression. The coach saw Pelé's talent and knew he could play for the big leagues. Now all the coach had to do was convince Pelé's parents.
His parents didn't want him to play?
Well, Pelé was only 15 years old at the time, and if he wanted to play for the big teams, he'd have to leave home and move to the huge city of Sao Paulo.
So he would have to move away from his family. Did Pelé's parents let him go?
They did. His coach was very convincing. Pelé left to try out for the Brazilian team Santos, and he made it! He signed with a big team and started practicing with them immediately.
And then he became a superstar.
Not immediately. It was very hard at first. You see, Pelé was much smaller and younger than the other players. He wondered if he'd be good enough. He was also worried about being on his own without his parents.
That would be very hard.
When Pelé moved to Sao Paulo, he missed his friends and family back home, but he didn't think he was playing very well either. During a match, he kicked the ball over a goal and lost the game. He was so embarrassed that he packed his bags up to leave. Pelé wanted to quit soccer.
But he didn't quit, right?
He didn't. When Pelé was leaving, he ran into a man who worked for the team. The man's name was Sabuzino. Sabuzino wouldn't let Pelé go without his parents' permission. He then taught Pelé a very important lesson that day. Sabuzino told Pelé that everyone makes mistakes. The trick is to learn from them, not give in to them.
I agree, Percy. That's a good lesson.
And Sabuzino was right. Pelé didn't give up, and things got better. He started to make friends with his teammates and enjoy his new life in Sao Paulo. Then, a month later, he got to play in his first match with the senior team. And do you know what happened?
What?
He scored a goal! He was so excited he couldn't wait to tell his dad. The next year, Pelé got a starting place on the team. And he became one of the top scorers.
I'm sure his dad was so proud.
He was. Pelé's dream to become a soccer player was coming true. He was starting to become famous throughout Brazil, and he was about to become famous around the world. In 1958, he played in the World Cup.
What's the World Cup?
It's a huge soccer tournament with teams from all around the globe. Pelé was picked to play for Brazil's national team, and Brazil ended up winning the whole tournament.
So Pelé helped Brazil win the World Cup.
Yes, he scored several goals during the tournament, and he was only 17 years old. He became the youngest player to score in a World Cup. After that, Brazil's government declared him a national treasure.
Hey, Leo, look! Are you watching the game? Pelé has the ball!
I see him! He's running towards the goal. Do you think he's gonna score?
Did you just see that? He kicked the ball over another player's head.
Whoa, look! Those other two players are trying to stop him.
But he just flicked the ball over their heads too, and it's...
Pelé just hit the ball into the net with his head!
That was incredible!
My grandpa would have loved to see that. That was the greatest goal I've ever seen!
Percy said that goal is famous. It's considered the most beautiful goal Pelé's ever scored.
Wait, my grandpa told me about this goal. It happened in 1959. There weren't any cameras filming the game, so there isn't any film of it. But everyone at the game said they had never seen anything like it.
So that means that we just saw one of Pelé's most famous goals? And to think, there are no photos or videos of it anywhere.
And we got to see it.
Thank you, Percy, for taking us here.
Percy, that newspaper you showed us in the vault, it had the date 1959 on the front. That was the same year Pelé scored his famous goal. Was there a story about the game in the newspaper?
That sounds like a yes to me. It looks like we've solved the mystery of the newspaper, which means...
we may start traveling soon.
I think it's already started to happen. Here we go!
And we're back in the vault! Percy, can I see the newspaper again? Look, there is a story about the game in the newspaper. It has the score too. Santos scored 4 goals.
Leo, what happened to Pelé after that game?
Well, that was just the beginning of his career. Pelé would go on to score many more goals and win many more games. In Brazil, they started to call him Ore, which means the king.
So he became the king of soccer?
There was no one else quite like Pelé. He played the game beautifully, and people around the world loved watching him. In many ways, Pelé helped make soccer the more popular sport that it is today, and most people still consider Pelé the greatest soccer player in history.
I'm so glad we got to see him play today.
I think I'm a huge Pelé fan too, Percy.
That makes 3 of us.
Hey Leo, do you want to go outside and play some soccer?
Yes, let's do it. Percy, you can come too. Maybe you can help us with the rules since we're still learning.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go!
Welcome back. That sure was a great adventure. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna tell all my friends about this amazing story. That's all for now. But if you want to learn more, be sure to check out my favorite magazine for kids, Honest History. There's a ton of stuff to learn in each issue, and I love the fun activities and questions. Bye! This episode was narrated by Nikki and JoAnn Schinderle and written by Heidi Coburn. The production was read by Robot Pirate Media. To learn more about Honest History, visit us at honesthistory.co and follow for updates on social media.